Oh, there we go. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show, guys. We'll fix that audio situation. I'm sorry about that, but welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. We're going to jump right into things, guys. A couple of thoughts. One, what is your take on the JT Realmuto slide at the end? Was he out? Was he safe? To me, it was clear as day that he was out. You saw his fingers bending back. Look, his fingers were cracking like the Liberty Bell right there. So, here we go. We got King Yellowman. We got the no sound. Yeah, it's time for Doug Baseball. We love you, Doug. You love you right back. Doug muted. Yeah, we're back in the mix. Let me know if you guys hear some sound. Here we go. There we go. Plug in your microphone. Dig it in. Hope you guys can lip read just in case. Urías, LF Go, definitely out. He was obviously out. Yeah, so one great Julio Ur'as' outing tonight. I thought that it was a really quality, impressive bounce-back outing from Julio Ur'as. He had much better command tonight. You saw him using that slurve. He was inducing soft contact with the changeup, and he was also challenging hitters with that fastball. You saw him get some punchies with some heaters up elevated out of the zone. He got Schwarber, got Realmuto. He struck out Camargo with that fastball high. I thought the slurve that he got in the fifth inning when he got Herrera swinging on that slurve away was a big pitch. And look, only 2 hits tonight, just 1 extra base hit, and coming off really what was the worst start of his career, we allowed 4 home runs. I think tonight was a really nice showing for Julio Ur'as, a very impressive outing. I think the big adjustment was he threw less fastball. Tonight, he threw that heater 34% of the time. In his outing last week against the Phillies, he threw that heater 47% of the times. It was getting tattooed. They were pounding his curveball, his slurve in his last outing. And look, this team is not the same team that really dominated the Dodgers and took Urías and Fuego. I like that from Robbie. Got Freddy. By the way, who is your player of the game? Let me know down below. We got Glenn Connor from Visalia in the house. That's my grandma. Shout out to my grandma in the mix tonight. Good times. But yeah, I think when you look at tonight's start from Julio Ur'as and the fact that he was able to go out there against this Phillies lineup that had so much success against him last week, for him to go out there and just be impressive through 5 innings, I think that a nice day of work. Also, you have to give credit to this Dodgers bullpen. It's this next man up mentality with the Dodgers pen. Yes, Phil Bickford got into a little trouble there in the end, but the fact that you got Yency Almonte, the real Almonte, you got Dr. Phil, Evan Phillips going out there. These guys are nasty. These guys are filthy, and they put up zeros for the most part. And I think when you combine that with the fact that you definitely didn't have the timely hits throughout the game from this Dodgers offense, you had runs early on, and you had the runs in the first and the second inning. The Dodgers were able to get 1 in the first, 2 in the second, but let's talk about that big insurance run there late. The big insurance run there late, Freddie Freeman, he gets the single there in the 9th inning. And how about Freddie Freeman's base running? Let me know down below in the comment section. Give me your one-word description of what it's been like to see Freddie Freeman on the Dodgers. To me, he's been everything the Dodgers could have hoped he would be and then some. He's just been a professional at-bat. Every time he goes up to the plate, something good is going to happen. The concentration level that he has in the box is otherworldly, and I think you saw his professionalism late in that game. To me, he's like that coworker that just does everything right and wins Employee of the Month every single month, and you're not even mad at him just because you respect his game. And you saw there in the 9th inning a 2-1 pitch from Freddie Freeman. He singles to center, and then how about the fact that he steals second and makes it all the way to third after the throwing error by JT Realmuto, and then Trey Turner, he brought him home with that sacrifice fly. So hey, they cannot be understated. That's that insurance run there, tacking that on late in the game. But hey, now DMAC Dodgers Nation, what up, carnivorous lunar activity? But I want all your thoughts. Outstanding. Diane Schroeder, those are your thoughts on Freddie Freeman. We got Anthony Keene. Freddie runs the bases like he's running from failure. Anthony Keene, I got to give you a Let's Go Dodgers for that one. There we go. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And the fact that he's in the 37th percentile, 38th percentile in sprint speed, yet he scores so many runs, it shows you he is a very determined runner on that base pass. He's running like he's trying to catch the bus, and he's got those long strides. And yes, he isn't the fastest guy, but guess what? He actually led the National League with 120 runs scored last season. So we got Rod Wilson, Freddy equals baller. By the way, why didn't they overturn that play there late? Were they feeling sorry for the Phillies because they were getting rocked like Rocky there at the beginning of Rocky 4. I mean, do you think that it was because that they had scored so little runs that, hey, let's just keep this game going? I mean, because at that point, I mean, I was hoping the umpires had some dinner reservations that they wanted to go to, because he clearly was out, and it was a nice throw by Chris Taylor. But some other key takeaways tonight: Chris Taylor definitely going through it. He had a couple opportunities tonight to really extend this lead and build upon this lead for the Dodgers tonight. Wasn't able to come through. He's definitely going through a little slump, but I will caution you with the whole what's going on with Chris Taylor thing. Yes, you see the strikeout rate is high. Yes, the BABIP is in his favor, and the contact rate is amongst some of the lowest in the league, but he's going to get through this. He's a very streaky hitter. We know that, but he is struggling at the plate. 178. He's hitting 178 in his last 13 games, 8 for his last 45, fifth worst strikeout rate in the league. And then we saw him the top of the first. Runners on second and third, he swings and misses at a changeup in the bottom of the zone, and then later he grounds into the double play in the third inning, and then the bases loaded in the fifth inning, had an opportunity to put the Dodgers to help build upon their lead, and he pops to second. So not a good night for Chris Taylor, but I have faith that he's going to get out of that. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your concern level for Chris Taylor's struggles at the plate? I mean, you're seeing he's not seeing it very well. You see him, it's kind of a timing issue. He's late on fastballs, and the chase, it's really just about making contact and putting the ball in play. But here we go. Hit those likes. That's from Dodgers Everything. You know I appreciate that. By the way, if you bring the fire takes, the hotter the take, the better. You're going to hear the flames. You guys know how we get down. If you give a burn, whether it be a Trash Rose burn or a Fraudres burn, whatever it may be, you're going to hear the finish him. But the super early Doug, Chris Taylor is an all-star. David, I would have to disagree with you on that one. And he made his first all-star team last season, but so far this season definitely got off to a really nice start. But I don't think that Chris Taylor is a guy that is going to vie for an all-star yet. I mean, he had a really nice start in April, but he definitely has kind of gone through it in the month of May. But who knows? I mean, it's still relatively, I mean, you got about a month and a half away, but I think at this point, yeah, that's actually a really good question. So even though oh, by the way, yeah, got to get your thoughts on Pedro B'aez. That's from Gil Velasquez over on YouTube. Yeah, I think when it comes to Pedro B'aez, PD B'aez, I mean, it's pretty interesting the fact that he signed that minor league deal, but the reality is he hasn't been very effective since he has been back. I mean, he appeared in only 3 games over the first 2 weeks of the season, and he gave up 3 earned runs on 5 hits and 3 walks and 2 strikeouts over 2 1/3 innings pitched. He signed that 2-year deal with the Astros, $12.5 million, and I think that, look, I mean, my hope is that my hope with Pedro B'aez is the fact that he signed that deal with the Astros, and he could have pitched better, but he intentionally was terrible just to pay the Astros back any way he could for them cheating and stealing the 2017 World Series, because he definitely hasn't looked good. And who knows? I mean, maybe the Dodgers, they can get back to basics with him, work on that fastball command, get that changeup right, and maybe when you look at the injuries continuing to pile up, I mean, Tommy Kahnle's going to be out for a significant amount of time. Blake Treinen isn't close to being back. I mean, like I said last season, it was like an episode of Squid Game with all these injuries and all these players going down. You just never know when you're going to have to get those contributors, and they're going to have this next man up mentality with this Dodgers bullpen. That's why you have to give a lot of credit to guys like Yency Almonte. You know that's my guy here, the A-team. Almonte always coming in clutch. I love Yency Almonte because his stuff is dirty. His stuff is nasty. You saw the movement on that sinker. I mean, his stuff moves more than a military family, and he has the velo pumping 97, 98 miles per hour. And, yeah, he went out tonight, and they sent him back out there for another inning. All in all tonight, Yency Almonte, he ended up going an inning in the third, had the 1 punch out, gave up the 1 hit. But, yeah, he's someone I think you should be excited about because he does have that raw ability, that raw stuff. He's a big dude, got the mound presence, he's got the poise on the mound, and he's a guy, like I said, he's filthy along with Evan Phillips. So they didn't have their best stuff tonight, but they went out there and they got the job done. I think Alex Vesia, another guy who, along with Julio Ur'as, struggled in that Phillies series, gave up those 3 runs. He had a really nice night. He goes 2/3 of an inning and he gets those 2 outs in just 8 pitches, 5 for strikes. And then Evan Phillips, he threw an inning today, had 2 punch-outs, gave up the hit. Phil Bigford gave those 2 hits there, goes 2/3 of an inning through 21 pitches. So he wasn't on his game tonight, was kind of leaving that slider a little bit over the plate. Didn't have the best fastball command, didn't have that life that we're accustomed to seeing on that heater. So, yeah, he gave up those hits late there, and it was nice to see Craig Kimbrel, because we know the thing about Craig Kimbrel is he wants to get that blood pumping. He wants to get that adrenaline up, and how you do that, you put him in save situations. And when you talk about Craig Kimbrel tonight, he was able to get his 8th save. He goes an inning, a third of an inning, does get the 1 punch out on 6 pitches. So it was nice to see him out there with an opportunity to save it. But here we go. We got Anthony Keaton Phillips, looks shaky AF. Yeah, not his best night tonight for sure. Beast mode for Branco, short spring. Yeah, do you guys think Yency Almonte is the real deal? I mean, just think about this. Heading into this season, imagine a few months ago if I told you that Yency Almonte and Evan Phillips, Dr. Filth, they were going to be the Dodgers' 2 most filthiest and really one of their high-leverage relievers at this stage of the season. I mean, Blake Treinen, the fireman, he was such a rock for this Dodgers bullpen last season. You can throw him out there the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th inning. He's a guy that got 7 saves last year. You can throw him against the heart of the order. Well, him being out really hurts this Dodgers pen, but like I said, they're better equipped this season to suffer these losses and have other guys step in these situations. But really, I thought Evan did okay. Bigford was only the disappointment. Yeah, I didn't say Evan did poorly. I think Evan went out there, and I thought Evan definitely battled. I mean, I think Evan Phillips, you see his raw ability, and you see what they've been able to do with that slider. The horizontal movement is filthy, has more of a sweeper action to it, and I think that him going out there and getting the job done late is big because they're going to need him in those situations with these guys out. With Tommy Kahnle missing significant time, they're still waiting to get Dustin May and Danny Duffy back at some point this summer. So, yeah, I think it was big to have him out there, and you saw in the bottom of the 8th inning. So, yeah, it definitely was big. I mean, did give that? I mean, look at the single he gave up to Evan Phillips to start the 8th inning. I mean, he went all cutter. And look, I mean, Camargo gets that infield single on a bunt to third. It was left wide open. No one on the left side of the field. He reaches on that bunt single. And then Evan Phillips, he comes back to strike out Herrera on 3 pitches. Gets him with that nasty slider in the zone. Gets the swing and miss for the first out. And then he gets Quinn looking at his slider right over the plate. So that slider he was working that slider in the zone. So we've seen him get that chase, especially against right-handed hitters with that slider and that cutter action, but he was working that slider in the zone. He gets Quinn looking for the second out, but then he does fall behind Hoskins early. He was missing with the fastball, with the cutter, with the slider, falls into a 3-0 hole, then comes back, throws 2 straight strikes. Hoskins fouls one off, and then he misses high with the fastball to walk him. But then he gets Bone to line out to right. Nice play by Mookie on that play, but he ends up giving up the 1 run, but I thought Evan Phillips did a nice job. But back in the comments section, how ridiculously bad was that call on JT Realmuto? I mean, come on now. Let's talk about this. I mean, let's say the Phillies come back and win this game. Can you imagine the tone of this post-game show? You guys would be absolutely outraged. Cowboys 5 rings, Almonte is nice. Yes, Yency Almonte, the real Almonte, the full Almonte, if you know what I'm saying. He's a guy that goes out there, and like I said, I've talked to him, lots of confidence. You see him in the clubhouse, and he told us, he said, hey, man, dropping that 4-seam fastball, and it's kind of a tough thing to do when you have a 4-seam fastball of Yency Almonte's caliber because the velo is there, but hitters were hitting it. We know that Major League Baseball hitters can time up a bullet. They can time up a rocket, and having that sink and living low in the zone. I like what Dontrell Willis said today, live low, live long. And I love that phrase by him because it really rings true with a lot of these pitchers out there. You want to stay down in the zone on certain pitches, try to get him to chase, try to induce soft contact. But I think Yency Almonte is someone that they're going to have to continue to lean on while they wait for guys to get back. And who knows? I mean, even when guys do get back, if he proves himself, he's got the kind of stuff that plays up in the postseason. The ability to get guys to chase at pitches out of the zone, the ability to miss bats, and that's something that this bullpen has been missing, that this staff really has been missing when you think about it. There's a lot of pitch-to-contact pitchers, definitely relying on your defense, but having a guy that get the punchies is big. But, yeah, I want to get your thoughts on Dontrelle Willis. What are your thoughts on the D train tonight? I love him. I think he's a fantastic listen. I'm just going to try to get him on the show. So let me get your thoughts on him. We got Anthony Keene. Real Muto was really freaking out. Has a game ended on a review yet? Dipped out on the bill. Anthony Keene. Yeah, I think that it was really cool tonight seeing the best catcher in all of Major League Baseball and JT Realmuto on the same diamond. Of course, I'm talking about Will Smith. No, I'm just playing. But, yeah, a lot of people speak very highly of JT, and he was chasing all night. But, yeah, I mean, look, they didn't reverse it. And, look, I think that if the call on the field was an out and you replay it, they're not going to reverse that. I think the fact that they called him save on the field, they looked at it, and they determined. If you go to my Twitter, I quickly put up a video of a super zoomed-in shot of JT. My bad, I got to get a pedicure. I mean, whatever. Is manicure. But yeah, you saw him. His fingers bent back, and like I said, his fingers were cracking like the Liberty Bell there because he did not get under that tag. The game should have been over, and at the end of the day, the Dodgers were victorious in this one, and thankfully Freddie Freeman was able, and Trey Turner were able to manufacture that insurance run late in the game. And like I always say, you can never have enough starting pitching, and you can never score enough runs, and we've learned that over the years. We got Unbelievable, we got Dontrelle and Joe have ESP going on. Why mess with it now? Yeah, they definitely have some good chemistry. It's really fun to listen to. We got that call, should have been out. He's a comic from Ryan Montez. Yeah, we got Taylor needs only current All-Stars are Kershaw, Freddy, and maybe Buehler. Oh, are you kidding me? Trea and Mookie. Mookie will be an All-Star for sure. And like I said, I mean, I'm hoping Will Smith, too, will work his way on the All-Star team. But how about Austin Barnes? Why not? How about Tony Gonsolin? You just never know. Still a good amount of baseball to be played before the All-Star selections. But the fact that it is in L.A., you know that they're going to push for it. You know the guys want to be on that field at Dodger Stadium because it's the first All-Star game in L.A. since 1980. So, yeah. But, yeah, give me your who do you guys think right now? Who are the All-Stars for the Dodgers right now? Let me know down below. Let's go. Almonte always coming in clutch. One second, guys. Yeah, Almonte's coming in clutch. The Dodgers look back to form. Good sign from Pika Pig. We got David. Don't forget they hit. Don't forget he hit the biggest home run in Dodgers history last year, David. Chris Taylor, definitely not the biggest home run in Dodgers history. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. That's Kirk Gibson in Game 1 of the World Series off Dennis Eckersley on that back foot slider. How about this? Actually, look, man, we're going to break down this game, but sometimes your comments, D-Mac, do you expect a call-up tomorrow, Anthony Keene? Look, I mean, I've been working. Have you seen some of the videos from the studio? I've been trying to work on that cutter, trying to work on that slider. I mean, look, all I got to say is, look, Mark Pryor, he could probably make me serviceable. This guy can turn water into wine with the best of them. So maybe they can get a third of an inning out of me, but no, I'll probably be out there throwing batting practice. But, yeah, let me ask you guys that question. What do you think is the second biggest home run in Dodgers history? To me, I would probably have to go, Will Smith in Game 5, Kike Hernandez in Game 7, but how about Cody Bellinger's go-ahead home run in Game 7? Because he doesn't hit that, maybe the Dodgers World Series drought is still on. But let me know down below. 6 straight wins. Let's go double digits. Yeah, 6 straight wins for the Dodgers. And how about Gavin Lux really turning this Dodgers slump around? Ever since that walk-off, this team has been on a tear. Yeah, Big Fur looks shook. That's for Mr. Stat. We got, one second, guys. There we go. We got umpires are trash from Smokey Mapot. We got Almonte is definitely the real deal from Ryan. We got we get May and Trinan back after the break. Yeah, it's really just about weathering the storm while the Dodgers wait for their big guns to come back. But also, you have to look at this as an opportunity because, look, they were going to have some tough decisions to make when it came to Evan Phillips. Because Evan Phillips is a guy that early on, he has been a revelation for this Dodgers team, going out there and competing and throwing him in high-leverage situations late in games. I mean, he's a guy that has been really one of the more dependable relievers out of that Dodgers pen. And like I said, I always bet on talent. And when the talent is there, you can train the skill. You can train the other areas of his game. What you can't teach is a 97, 98 mile per hour fastball. What you can't teach is a cutter with that amount of filthy movement, a slider with that amount of filthy horizontal break to it. So like I said, bet on the talent. I like what I'm seeing from Evan Phillips and Yency Almonte, and I think that, yes, you have to look at it. The silver lining here, the Michelada half full take is, yes, you don't want Blake Tryon and Tommy Kahnle to be out in some of these big bullpen pieces. You don't want Victor Gonzalez to not really have a chance to get his season going. But on the bright side, the Dodgers did make some really nice signings over the years and bringing Yency Almonte in and guys that, look, they knew that this could be a possibility after what they saw last year using a franchise record 39 pitchers. So to have guys being able to step up and fill these spots while guys are getting healthy, it's just massive, and it just really speaks to the depth of this Dodgers organization and also their player development. But Lux bent his fingers, a lot of strikes out of the zone. Craig Osterberg. Yeah, I thought early on, Chris Conroy behind the plate, he was calling some, you look at the first strikeout of the game with Mookie Betts. That was a fastball up out of the zone. Mookie Betts, all class. He's not going to argue it, but I think for the most part, he was calling a lot of fastballs high. But Bobby Miller, Brown, LOL, is Trey Turner going to get a new contract, Branco? Good question. Kimbrel scaring me again. Isaac, too nice. Hey, man, what would a closing situation be for Dodger fans if you didn't get that heart rate up, if you didn't get that blood pressure up a little bit? It kind of reminds you of the Kenley Jansen days. Yes, Miller time, Rebecca. By the way, head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Did an interview with the prospect guru, Mr. Tim Rogers, and we talked a lot about Bobby Miller and the fact that he might get the call-up sooner than a lot of people had expected because of all the injuries that the Dodgers have been dealing with, and the fact that he's just been looking better in the last couple of weeks. But do you think they should call up Bobby Miller? Do you think he should be maybe a guy that gives the Dodgers a couple of high-leverage innings out of the pen? But here we go. Dontrell and Joe have that ESP going. We got Trey or Freddy for MVP. Zero cool. I'm going to ask you guys that question. And to me, I think that it's pretty much a no-brainer. I think it's MV free. I think if you look at right now, the MVP of the Dodgers so far this season, it has to be Freddie Freeman. There's no question about it. Tonight, he goes 3 for 5, has 2 RBIs. And he's been steady Freddy. That's what I call him, steady Freddy. Of course, I love Fredericks of Hollywood, my man Anthony Keene. But, yeah, he's been steady Freddy, and he's been worth the price of admission. Really has exceeded my expectations as a player. I thought maybe, look, it's a new team, you want to get going, but he just goes in there, he locks in, and like I said, watch him at the plate. His ability to hit to all fields. He doesn't try to do too much at the plate. It doesn't matter the count. He's trying to get his bat to the ball, and good things happening. He's hitting the ball hard. He's barreling the ball, and he's just being Freddie Freeman, and that means he's being one of the best hitters in all of Major League Baseball. He's been one of the best hitters in this league for over a decade. He's a model of consistency, and to me, there's no question that Freddie Freeman has been the Dodgers MVP thus far in the season. He leads the Dodgers with a 911 OPS. He leads LA with a 322 batting average. He leads the Dodgers in doubles with 14. He leads LA in so many different categories, but also 3 home runs and a triple. So Freddie Freeman, also the fact that he posts every day. Another category that he leads the Dodgers in is games played, tied with Trey Turner. So look, your best ability is your availability, and the fact that Freddie Freeman can go out there and post each and every day, and this guy is a baseball junkie. He's a baseball rat. You can't take him off the field. You can't do it. So he loves to be out there. But I would go, so this is your answer to my question, which is the second biggest home run in Dodgers franchise history, and we got Belly in Game 7 from BC, walk-off CT3 from Rebecca Michelle David over on YouTube. We got Damian Pryor is great, not that great. Hey, I see what you did right there, Damian. That's a good burn. You finished me. There we go. Finish him. Finish him. Buehler is not all-star material right now. Yeah, he's just not missing the bats that we've seen him miss in the past. Not getting as much swing and miss, not getting the big punch-outs. But look, I think if you're Walker Buehler, he's a guy that was the favorite to win the Cy Young Award, the National League, until mid-August. So, look, I think the personal accolades are something that he strives for in the sense that that's a byproduct of him having success on the mound, which means he's having success for his team. But he's also a guy that's continuing to evolve as a pitcher, going from less of a fireballer guy, a big-time velo guy, from a guy that's an out-getter. So he's continuing to adjust. And, look, I still think that, you don't underestimate reputation when it comes to starting pitchers, and also the Dodgers' record as well. So he's got the reputation, and I think that, he puts together a couple. Look, let's not forget, he's the only guy to throw a complete game this year, and he did that. It was his first complete game. He did that against the Diamondbacks. So, yeah, he didn't look sharp against the Phillies, but then again, which Dodger did? So, here, let's go back to the comments. I like Evan Phillips. Justin, by the way. Freddie, Mookie, Turner, all All-Stars plus Will Smith. That's from Craig Osterberg. Give it up for Yency Almonte. Give me go Dodgers. Rick Monday, 1981 NLCS, most unlikely Dodgers postseason home run ever. Peak a peak. Yeah, I think that's definitely in the mix for sure. I mean, that's definitely one that Blue Monday. But also, how about Mike Scioscia? An underrated great home run in Dodgers history is Mike Scioscia to tie things up against the mighty Mets in Game 4 of the 1988 NLCS. Because if he doesn't hit that bomb, there is no Kirk Gibson bomb potentially in the World Series. So I think Mike Scioscia's home run there doesn't get enough credit, doesn't get enough praise. We don't celebrate it enough. But no Bryce Harper helps the Dodgers. Yeah, Bryce Harper, it's clearly Bryce Harper in the Phillies. It's like Bryce Harper on the Phillies is almost like that meme where it's the Bugatti in the shack, and you see the Bugatti and it's parked where a shack is. Maybe that's Bryce Harper on the Phillies, because this team is not the same team without him in the lineup. But the Dodgers, they improved to 26-12, remain in first place in the NL West, and like I said, they could have used some more timely hits to expand their lead early, but the bullpen, for the most part, save for Phil Bigford, they put up zeros tonight. It was a nice bounce-back outing from Julio Ur'as, I thought. He ends up going 5 innings, allowed no runs, 2 hits, 5 punch-outs, and 5 innings of work. 80 pitches, 52 for strikes, 11 for 17 on first pitch strikes, 9 swings and misses. So we got Freddy MVP from Noah Sniper, 80 blood and soil locals only, MV free for sure, no question. That's from Genie. We got not just yet, maybe in July. Scherzer becoming injury prone. We don't need another aging pitcher with that problem, from BC. Yeah, what are your takes on Max Scherzer going down? I thought his arm only. I guess he doesn't have dead arm. He has dead oblique. I guess he has dead oblique now. Freddy be like, hold my beer while I go 3 for 4. That's from Carnivorous Lunar Activity. We got Deborah Young. Freddie stealing second and then third confirms him as MVP for me. Deborah Young always rocking with us out in Florida. D-Mac, can we just buy Juan Soto? He wants to be out of that club from BC. Yeah, I'm going to drop a video on the possibility of the Dodgers trading for Juan Soto, what it would take, because I'm telling you, the haul would be unprecedented. It would be one of the most massive hauls that it would be the most massive haul that a team's ever gotten. We're talking about gutting the top of a team's farm system, because you talk about a player of Juan Soto's caliber, the modern-day Ted Williams. He is not going to be cheap. It's going to require a king's ransom, and I think when it comes to Juan Soto, the big kicker for me, and I want to get your thoughts on that too. Do you guys want to see the Dodgers go all in on a Juan Soto trade? And like I said, I'm the captain of the ship here, but I also listen to the people on the boat, and I'm listening to your comments, and we're kind of responding to those, but we're going to break down this game in just a second, because Craig Osterberg, I think, where's Max Muncy? Look, I mean, they're giving him a day off. He's a guy that's still going through it, struggling at the plate, and almost you're seeing a little bit of a platoon situation and giving Hanser Alberto an opportunity there, and Alberto actually got a hit tonight, but Dick Nen, 1963 home run. Craig Osterberg, you've been down with the Dodgers for a long time. I'm going to give you Let's Go Dodgers for that one. And what's up, Doug? What up, Isaac Too Nice? How you doing, my man? Mike Scioscia against the Mets in 1988 from Damien over on YouTube. 12-pack, let's do this, Dodgers. We got facts. Doug sign Juan Soto. I like that, BC. You act like I own the Dodgers. Do you think I'm Mark Walters or Peter Gruber or one of these guys that can sign Juan Soto? So this is the thing. Like I said, I don't want to tip off too much of this vid I worked on for Juan Soto, but the thing is, if you're a team that, and also apparently his agent has since kind of poured a little cold water on these rumors about Juan Soto being traded, but I think it makes a lot of sense for the Nationals to do because, look, they're changing ownership. And if you're that new ownership team, do you really want the Juan Soto cloud hanging over you in that situation? Do you really want that? I don't think they do, and I think that it would behoove them to make that move before ownership took over. So, but I think that if I was a team that was interested in trading for Juan Soto, I would only do it if you had a realistic chance to sign him long term. And that's only a handful of teams. And we're talking the big market marquee teams. We're talking the Dodgers. We're talking the Yankees. We're talking pretty much the Mets, Dodgers, Yankees. Maybe you throw in the Cubs. Maybe you throw in some other teams out there. But there's only a certain amount of teams that can really seriously consider giving a player like Juan Soto a $500 million contract. I'm talking $500 million. Okay, that is how much money Juan Soto could sign. Could be the first $500 million guy in Major League Baseball history. Let me ask you guys that question. Thanks, Daniel Ash, for saying great show. Hey, man, this is I'm the man of the fans. Your show, I'm just hosting it, but do not get Juan Soto. Do you guys think that Juan Soto is worth $500 million on the open market when he hits free agency after the 2024 season? I want your thoughts on that. And then we're going to jump back into this game action because we still have some stuff we got to break down after the Dodgers' 4-1 win over the Phillies. By the way, said it before, I'll say it again, JT Realmuto was out, and I know it was inconsequential at the end of the day, but come on, let's get it right. Thanks, Carnivorous. Appreciate you. No Juan Soto greater than Cy Bellinger. Gary A. Worth fighting for Judas Priest. Max has a poor attitude when he's struggling. Face Lord, I honestly don't. Soon Kim, not worth trading for Soto. Just sign him as a free agent. That's from Soon Kim. You bring up a great point. I think that if you're the Dodgers and you think that, hey, he's a guy that you could court in free agency in a few years, that is something that would help you could develop a more sustainable approach. And I think that this team, this success that the Dodgers have had, this sustained success, the golden era of Dodger baseball, it has been built on prospect development. You've seen guys like Corey Seager, guys like Cody Bellinger, Will Smith, Walker Buehler, Gavin Lux. I mean, the list goes on and on. Yes, there's the Trey Turners, the Freddie Freemans, and Mookie Betts, but if you look at the core, if you look at the Julio Ur'ases of the world, and you got Dustin May, there's so many names that have come up through this system. And then also the Dodgers have flipped some big names to get players like Max Scherzer and Trey Turner last year when they traded their top two prospects in Josiah Gray and Keibert Ruiz. So do you really want to gut the farm to that extent? Because I'm telling you, it would require a massive haul. And also you consider the fact that they already traded their top prospect in catcher Keibert Ruiz. And if you look at the Dodgers' top prospect right now, it's another catcher named Diego Cartaya. So would the Nationals really want the Dodgers number 2, 3, 4, 5 prospects? Would they be interested in guys like Bobby Miller and Ryan Pepio and Miguel Vargas and those types of players, or would they require some big league ready talent? I mean, guys like Gavin Lux. I mean, you got Walker Buehler and Julio Ur'as who still have a few more years of team control on it as well. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for the Dodgers. I know that anytime you talk about a player of Juan Soto's caliber and you link him to a franchise like the Dodgers, it's tough to resist talking about it, but it's very unlikely in my opinion. But let's jump into this game, guys, and let's get back to your comments, and we're going to jump into this game. But no, $500 million is not worth. This is your response to, is Juan Soto worth $500 million? Trade Roberts for Juan Soto. JK had to throw a Dave Roberts comment in here. Cesar, you know I love it, man. I mean, it's just how it is. We don't need Juan. We need pitching. That's from Angela over on YouTube. Nope, that's from the Childeronian. Soto is not a Billy Goat from Rod Wilson. Yeah, you don't want the curse of the childish Bambino. Man, what happened to this NBA game? Jeez. Bro, $500 million for Soto? Hell no, bro. That's from Face Lord. We got no, $500 million. Soto is not a Billy. Give belly to our worst enemy, WB. That's cold. That's cool. That's a burn. You got to get this. The only good thing if the Dodgers got Juan Soto is he's young. Otherwise, the trade would gut half our team and farm system. Can we sign Japanese pitcher Roki Sasaki? Yeah, man. I really like him, man. I think that he's a guy that I think that, we'll talk about that at some point. But Soto, we got to smash that like button for DMAC and show some love. Thanks, Diane. Appreciate it. Vargas, Cartaya, we don't need Juan. What's your take on Max Scherzer from Jesus Ray Perez? My take on Max Scherzer is there's a reason why the Dodgers didn't offer him a third year. The Dodgers, their formal offer to Max Scherzer was 2 years, $72 million. That's $36 million per year AAV. And what did the Mets end up paying him? They paid him a record $130 million for 3 years. That's a $43.3 million per year AAV. And if you look at that, I mean, I think the Mets were just bidding against themselves at that point. I think the Dodgers, they realized, hey, man, we gave some serious prospect capital to get this guy. And yes, he was outstanding with the Dodgers. Make no mistake about it. I mean, I think that, and I'm always going to love kind of looking back and kind of getting up on Scherzer Day and being really excited about it. And it was very excited to see him go out there and dominate the Astros like he did. I mean, look, Scherzer was really outstanding. If it wasn't for Scherzer, I mean, there's a good chance the Dodgers aren't even in the NLCS. And if you look at what he was able to do in LA, a 1.98 ERA in 68 and a thirds innings pitched, a .820 whip. He got his 3,000th strikeout. But at the end of the day, when we needed him the most, I do think there's really no doubt. From people I've talked to, you may like he made a business decision. He did what was best for Max Scherzer and not necessarily what was best for the Dodgers in Game 6. I think that, look, I mean, I think had he already signed, let's say the Dodgers had signed him to a 3-year, $130 million contract last season. Do you think he's pitching in Game 6 last season? I think the answer is yes. And, I mean, you can't fault the guy. It's his choice. And he was a free agent, and it clearly worked out for him because he signed that big bag. But, I mean, he gets all this credit for being the competitor he is. You saw what he did in 2019. The guy couldn't even move his neck, and he finds a way to give you 5 innings in Game 7 after a cortisone shot a few days later. But I think that Max Scherzer, the way his Dodgers career, the way his time with the Dodgers ended, it did leave a bad taste in a lot of Dodger fans' mouth, and I think I kind of understand kind of the vitriol towards Max Scherzer, and I think maybe, just maybe, Max Scherzer, maybe he's just conveniently getting injured so he doesn't have to pitch against the Dodgers when they go to Dodger Stadium early June. No, I'm just playing. Obviously, I don't mean that. But Mets suck. I dislike Alonso's attitude. We got Scherzer failed us for the postseason. That's from Jose. Golden State 126. So, wow, they came back, man. It's crazy. We got, if Scherzer and Kurz were healthy and Bauer were smarter, we'd have won the 2020 World Series from BC. Yeah, and then also don't forget about injuries to Max Muncy and Justin Turner because those were very significant. We know those are really two of the Dodgers' most clutch players. I mean, talk about especially in the postseason. JT is Mr. October for the Dodgers. I mean, he holds so many postseason records across the board. See, missing him was I hate my wife, Nando390. Please don't say that. You love your wife, man. Boston sucks from Blue Magic. Mets are Walmart Dodgers from Mike Jones, who, yeah, I love that. Finish him. Yeah, they're like the Wish version of the Dodgers. But let's jump into this game and keep firing away with those takes. Bring those hot takes. Bring those burns. And we'll get back to the comment section in just a second. But top of the first inning, Mookie Betts, he strikes out looking for the first out. A sinker high up out of the zone. Like I said, Chris Conroy's his calls early on were not very good. Jenny, what up, Jenny? We got then following Betts on the first out, Freddie Freeman on a 1-2 pitch. He hits a 1-out single to center, and then Trey Turner a 3-2 pitch. He draws a walk, even the Dodgers runners on first and second with 1 out, and then Will Smith, he comes up and he draws a walk to load the bases with 1 out and Justin Turner at the plate. And then on a 2-2 count, JT grounds to first to score Freddie Freeman to give the Dodgers an early 1-0 lead. LA strikes first blood, and I think it was a really nice at-bat from Justin Turner. Nice 2-strike approach out there. He was looking for that fastball, gets the changeup, gets his bat to it, puts it in play, and the Dodgers go up 1-0, and I think that's really a big difference with Justin Turner. You see the timing is back. Earlier in the year, a few weeks ago, he's probably swinging and missing at that pitch, and the Dodgers might not have gotten the run. It's so crucial for this team to get up early, and when they do, they win a massive amount of their games, and I think that's what's so big for this team. But yeah, if you look at this Dodger team, I mean, that's so big for this team. If you look at their numbers this season, the Dodgers now 18-2 when they score first. So getting on the board early is huge. And then following that at bat with Justin Turner, With 2 strikes and runners on first and second, Chris Taylor strikes out swinging on a 3-2 count, changeup in the zone. Like I said, contact rate has been among the lowest in the league this season. He's definitely going through it right now, but it was nice to see the Dodgers go up early. But here we go back into the comments section. Here we got, wow, man, Warriors came back, huh? Do you guys care about the NBA Finals at all, or the NBA playoffs? I mean, me personally, I think, I just don't want Boston to win. I mean, even Golden State, I would take them not winning. But here we go. Or Heat or Mavs, anyone but Boston, BC. Kimbrel isn't getting enough work. That's why he's sketchy right now, WB. Like I said, I mean, Craig Kimbrel's like my gym membership. It probably should be used more often. I think that was really one of the issues early on this season, because for him to get into a groove, you need to see him go out there more consistently. And look, a lot of it has to do with some of the Dodgers' potent offenses at times. But look, I mean, if you look against the Diamondbacks, he was put in a tough situation, didn't get a call. He was able to finish things out there. So I think Craig Kimbrel, if you look at his velocity, if you look at his peripherals, he's still on track to be a really solid closer for the Dodgers, and I still think I would take Craig Kimbrel over Kenley Jansen at this stage. But, bro, Luka put up 40 points and still lost. We got SMH. Kimbrel needs to be out there more. Not really. I think Mitch White starts tomorrow. Mets versus Angels. Oh, you get the Mets versus the Angels? I don't know, man. I'll believe it when I see it, because the Angels haven't had very much success under Artie Moreno. I mean, one playoff series in 2014. But let's jump to the top of the second inning. Cody Bellinger strikes out swing to start the inning. Tough, well-executed pitch right there by Suarez. And I think the other big takeaway, too, by the way, from that first inning was the Dodgers getting that pitch count up on Suarez. So, yes, they were only able to score 1 run, but they did get him to throw 35 pitches. So they got that pitch count up, and you also saw Dodgers hitters coming through with 2 strikes. You had the 2-strike single from Freddie Freeman, the Trey Turner walk on a full count, the 2-strike RBI from Justin Turner. So 2-strike clutch hitting from the Dodgers in that first inning kind of got things going. And like I said, LA is 18-2 this season when they score first. But jump to that second inning. Bellinger, he strikes out for the first out in the inning, and then on a 1-0 count, Alberto, he bangs a 1-out single to left, and then he was able to use that speed to avoid, and then next batter, Gavin Lux, he grounds into that fielder's choice, and a really nice job by Gavin Lux to hustle down the line, avoid that double play, grounds into that fielder's choice, and then following that, Mookie Betts, he doubles down the line on a 3-1 count. That gives the Dodgers runners on the corners. So really nice job by Mookie Betts. It's really kind of a little sneaky double that he had there today. Goes right down the line, and he's getting himself into better 3-1 counts. You're seeing him handle fastballs on the inner half better than he was early on the season. The timing's there, the hard contact's there. He's just turning on fastballs in the zone. And then Dodgers runners on first and second, and Freddie Freeman at the plate. 2-2 count. Freddie Freeman singles to center to score Betts and Lux to make it 3-0 LA. A great at-bat by Freddie Freeman. I mean, this was a professional at-bat by Freddie franchise. I mean, he goes up there, he fouled off a couple fastballs and waited for one that ends up center cut and doesn't do much, just gets himself a 2-out, 2-strike, 2 RBI double there, and the Dodgers, they go up 3-0 thanks to some more clutch hitting from LA. So that was kind of one of the big stories tonight, being able to come through with 2 outs, with 2 strikes late in the count. That's really kind of been a part of this team's identity early on, but if you look at the other numbers tonight, Dodgers, they go 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position today, 10 left on base. And, I mean, I think when you look at this team, they could have scored more runs tonight. But, then they, like I said, that clutch, much-needed insurance run there in the ninth inning really helped things out, because we saw it happen in the bottom of the ninth where JT Realmuto should have been out. Phil Bickford didn't have his best stuff. Craig Kimbrel was able to come in and close things out. But if Flash Freddy, we got a Freeway World Series would be great. Would love to see Trout and Ohtani in the playoffs, but I don't think the Angels are that team yet. I mean, if you look at this, the Angels, when it comes to the Angels, I think the offense is there. And I think Rendon, you got the top of that lineup, but you got when you talk about Mike Trout and the rest of the gang, I mean, they've been fantastic this season. And what it's going to come down to, like it does every single year, is can they get it together from a pitching standpoint? We know that's been the Angels' issue for years and years and years. We know that Artie Moreno, he likes to spend his money on those shiny everyday players, but you don't see the investment in the pitching. But I think this year, I mean, just look at Shohei Ohtani. He's a guy that he can go out there and he can dominate. And, yeah, I mean, if you look at Reed Detmers, I mean, he throws that no-hitter, and he's still super young. He's like 22 years old, I believe, something like that. And you got Patrick Sandoval, you got Syndergaard. So we'll see, man. We'll see. And I think bringing back Iglesias was pretty big. So I think that, I mean, of all the years, I mean, usually I'm going to call them Anna Slime and say that they're done. But I think that of all the years, you have to say that there is a realistic shot of them definitely getting into the postseason, especially when we look at the AL West. You know, Texas, they're not going to do anything. Oakland's not going to do anything. The Astros, definitely they're the biggest threat, but even they have taken a little step back this season. But they also got Verlander back, and who knows, they can make a move. But, yep, guys, thanks for rocking with us here. The Dodgers get the dub. Real Muto was definitely out. You saw a nice bounce back outing from Julio Ur'as. Thought the Urías was really impressive tonight. I really like what I saw from him. Really like what I saw from Yency Almonte. I really love the run on that two-seamer. I mean, dude, he's got so much run on his sinker that it should enter the LA Marathon. I'm telling you, Yency Almonte is that man. I'm a big fan of his. I really think he can help out this Dodgers bullpen, and they are going to need it. So, look, I think there's certainly room for improvement for guys like Yency Almonte and Evan Phillips and some of these bullpen pieces that have been thrusted into this situation. But, hey, man, they're in much better shape than a lot of these teams around the league that really wouldn't be able to sustain these kind of blows. I mean, they thought that Tommy Kahnle was going to be a high-leverage guy. He's going to miss significant time. They lose Blake Trinan. But, yep, guys, let's do some couple final takes, and I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday night. But here we go. Let's do it. Yeah, like my friend Joe Megazzini says, all's well that ends well. And the fact that the Real Muto thing is not going to cost the Dodgers, we can all sleep at night, because I'm telling you, you guys would have gone crazy had the Phillies come back, and a lot of that would have been would have been because of the non-out call there. But a couple more guys, but here we go. Let's see. AB, my wife is asking for your address while I'm packing her luggage, D-Mac. I'm scared. AB, AB, you're tripping, man. I'll give you this. I'll give you the fire. I'll give you Let's Go Dodgers. You're hilarious. Iris K, thank you, D-Mac. Thanks, Iris K, for rocking with us, guys. Yeah, I'm going to get that sound figured out. By the way, sorry for that. Great show, like always. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it. We got my man Blue. You the best. Yeah, you guys are the best back, man. You guys make this post-game show what it is. Rock with us. Rain or shine, wins or losses, smiles or frowns, you guys are always getting down here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Don Kim will show that Will Dill Smith, Real Muto, greater than sign. Don Kim, I'm with you. I'm all about Will Smith, man. Anthony King, Angels are a big arm away from being real contenders. They needed Scherzer. Anthony King, you bring up a great point. I mean, look, maybe they'll be buyers at the deadline. Maybe they're going to be the team that makes a move for a Frankie Montas or a Molly or a Luis Castillo or some other names that could be available. But I think that if you are that Angels team, you have to show Shohei Ohtani that you're serious about contending for a World Series title. And also, you got Mike Trout. And look, you can hate on the Angels all you want. Me personally, I've never been an Angels hater because I don't see it as a rivalry. Only team I really dislike what I consider rivals, I'm saying, are the Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals. Yankees historically, but really, when you talk about this Angels team, this league, you need guys like Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani in the postseason. It's great for the sport, and me, at the end of the day, I'm a fan of the overall success of the game. So I want to be, I like that, Ricky Rubio. Yankees suck. Great show. Yeah, Amonte, keep my eyes on him. Dustin May coming back this year. Thank you, D-Mac. Thank you, guys. Dustin May. Yeah, he'll be back after the All-Star break. Farmer John from 12-Pack. Great show. Thanks, Patrick Gagne, the man. Angel Doug, World Series prediction. So, Angel, my World Series prediction before the season started, as you know, is I have the Dodgers beating the Houston Astros. Yes, I said it. And I know that's pretty interesting because it kind of means I have to root for the Astros to win the American League and this and that. But I just think it'd be great for baseball to have that matchup, and I think it would exercise some demons, and I just need that in my life. It'd really help me put 2017 behind me if I could see the Dodgers beating the Astros on the field. I think really it's a crapshoot when you get to the postseason. I think the Astros do have a chance, but let me know down below in the comment section who you guys have before we head out of here. Preaching as always, Giants and Cardinals for sure. Yep, my man. Okay, bold prediction. Yes, 2017. Verlander is on one this year. Missouri doesn't deserve two baseball teams. Even God is a Dodger fan. The sky is always blue. I love that brand. That's a great take. I'm going to remember that one. Angels remove that tacky LA from their name. I'll support them. Again, yeah, like I always said, they're the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of California. Astros, here's our rivals. This is from Ryan to end things out here. 1 Giants, 2 Cardinals, 3 Astros. Dodgers over Toronto from David P. I like that Toronto team. You have an all-blue World Series. The Yankees are playing with last year's baseballs. Roman, that's a fun. I like that one. Yeah, I mean, they're much love. But yeah, thanks, guys. As always, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. That's a neat disappearing trick. Hey, man. Dodgers-Yankees from Diane Schroeder. That'd be great for the game as well. Thanks, Damien. Yankees are playing in a little league field, what WB. But, yeah, man, you guys bringing the heat on hey, man, Friday night, DMAC for mayor of L.A. Hey, man, I don't know anything about politics, so that wouldn't be fun. I would basically just make it to where, all sports related. But Yanks are historical rivals, absolutely.com. But, yeah, guys, great to hang out with you guys on a Friday. Dodgers get the dub. See you guys next time. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time.